Now, the first mistake that you're making that's causing you to gain weight is that you're drinking coffee too late in the afternoon. Drinking coffee too late can disrupt our production of the sleep hormone melatonin. And when we have that disturbed sleep hormone, it can result in really poor quality sleep. And poor quality sleep has been consistently found to increase our hunger hormone ghrelin and our stress hormone cortisol the next day, not to mention just feeling tired. And all this combined can lead you to craving the foods that are not going to be most in line with your weight loss or wellness goals. So a good rule of thumb is to stick to having coffee no later than 2 p.m. or if you're like me and you're a little bit more caffeine sensitive, 12 p.m. Which my name's Autumn and I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's nutrition human performance. Let's jump straight into that second coffee mistake, and that's that you're adding in flavored syrups. Did you know a grande vanilla latte from Starbucks has about 35 grams of sugar in it? That's a huge amount. That will result in a huge spike in our storing hormone insulin and completely shut off the fat burning process called lipolysis. And I wouldn't get too excited about just simply switching over to the zero sugar syrups. Studies are showing that these zero sugar sweeteners can still cause an insulin response. Plus, a lot of the zero sugar syrups often come with an ingredient called maltodextrin. And ironically, maltodextrin actually has a higher glycemic response than sugar. So even those zero sugar syrups are still going to be working against your weight loss goals. Now, the third coffee mistake that you're making is that you're using original nut milks if you're using a dairy-free milk. Now, this is where a lot of the tricky food marketing can come in because the original is still sweetened. In fact, typically for these original almond milks or coconut milks, they're still going to have around 7 grams of added sugar per cup. And especially if you're at coffee shops, they're likely going to be using that original or even a sweetened option because they want you to like the coffee. So especially if you're getting like an almond milk latte in its original form, plus adding in those vanilla syrups, the sugar levels can absolutely skyrocket. So if you are going to be using a nut milk option, just make sure that you're specifying an unsweetened nut milk. And I typically don't recommend using oat milk. You can check out the details for that right here. Now, the fourth mistake is that you're having coffee in place of meals. Now, I use keto coffee in the morning for my intermittent fasting schedule. However, I don't use keto coffee as a replacement for a meal. Even if you're not using keto coffee, but you're still finding yourself replacing meals for coffee, even if it's black coffee, this can still work against your weight loss goals. And the key reason why is because you're missing out on a huge amount of protein that you could have been having from that meal. And getting adequate amounts of protein each day, which is actually maybe a little bit harder than you realize, is particularly important for achieving a body recomposition goal, which is really what everybody wants when they're looking to achieve a weight loss goal, because body recomposition just means that you're losing fat while either maintaining or increasing muscle. You don't want to be losing muscle in the process. That will just make it even more difficult to maintain that weight loss in the future and even likely make it easier to gain weight in the future. In fact, for how to calculate your protein needs each day, you can check out this video right here. Now, the fifth mistake is that you're adding honey to your coffee. And really, this can be any type of added sugar, like regular cane sugar, sugar in the raw, maple syrup. But I've for some reason seen honey pop up quite a bit lately, and it's been touted as a healthy sugar to be adding into your coffee. And even though honey is likely going to be less processed than a lot of other sugars and likely contain at least a little bit of nutrients in it, it's still an added sugar. That's the main aspect of honey. 1 tablespoon of honey contains around 17 grams of sugar, with about half of that coming from fructose. And fructose is broken down a bit different than the other simple sugar, glucose. In fact, fructose has been found to really increase a process called de novo lipogenesis, which literally means new fat creation. Now, if you want to check out how I use coffee and my coffee recipe, you can check out this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Well, new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.